Hello, everybody. Welcome to our new state-of-the-art studio here at 620 Wilson in Toronto. It's the Homestand Show. I'm Albert Vartanian, Sarah Peraria, Sean McCormick, and James Sharman. You're far, far away from me.
So far away. It feels comfy, though. Like, it's a nice vibe.
You're chilling right now.
Are you?
Oh, I'm so relaxed.
Are you worried now that people know how to find us and your fans are going to find and stalk you now?
I don't have any fans. No one's going to.
I'm a fan of yours.
Are you?
Yeah.
Nice.
You're here already, so
Well,
you know the address.
Yeah. I got to point this out right away. It's really, really bothering me, but Sean is using a wireless mouse right now. You can't see it. Can you throw the camera on Sean? He's
Yeah, I got a
using a
mouse.
wireless mouse.
well, my computer's so far away. I
it's
gotta
really
use it.
smart, but it's bothering me how you're doing it right now.
Who wants to lean forward? Not this guy.
I know.
No,
I got to do that.
there's no
Sarah's got to
leading
do
on
that.
this show. We should mention this as kind of a work in progress.
It definitely is.
Oh.
It's set, but we just think for this kind of show, we should be chilled and relaxed.
We're relaxing.
Once
You
upon
know?
a time, we had a set with couches.
Remember those days?
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Those were good days. I didn't
Trying
like
to bring it
the
back.
cameras are too low, so you got too much crotch
There's
action.
a lot of crotch action.
Here, I can block it. Thank God Sean can block his, but we're okay. You know what I'm saying? But you know who's not okay?
Ooh.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Segue.
This is bad news for Manchester City and anybody who has Kevin De Bruyne on their FPL team. He's done for 4 months. He did his hamstring, left the first half, I believe, against Burnley. Guardiola is saying that he's probably gone for 3 to 4 months. He's going to need surgery, likely going to need surgery. Going to miss about 20 matches, James Sharman. We did a Premier League predictions pod earlier. We both had City at the top, even without Kevin De Bruyne for 4 months.
Yeah. Well, I think we still should. Listen, they've missed this guy before, right? In the past, he's been hurt at times. It is Man City. They're the deepest team, maybe in world football. Well, not maybe. They are the deepest team in world football. They got some great players to not replace Kevin De Bruyne, but certainly to stem the tide, so to speak, while he gets back. And listen, think about this. So Kevin De Bruyne gets back in, say, January, right? Fresh, healthy. It's like a new shining, as they say.
Yeah, I guess it
Not
would
a
be.
bad little addition for the stretch run.
And that's when City put on the gas like last season. Anyways, it was after the World Cup, after the Christmas break and stuff. So maybe James is onto something there.
Do you think it could derail their season? Like completely off the rails, I'm talking about. You're missing the best player, arguably, maybe outside of Holland in the Premier League,
He
is
was
Kevin De
monster,
Bruyne.
I still think. Yeah, I think it could really affect them because of also how many goals he contributed to. Sorry, I have to keep doing this apparently.
Work in progress.
I'm just gonna-
17 assists, playmaker of the season. Was he the player of the year? Or was it Holland?
No,
I can't
Holland
remember.
was.
It was
Yeah.
Holland, yeah.
Yeah.
Could have easily have been Kevin De Bruyne, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
massively important player, right? And in any sport, you lose such an important member of your team. It's not a good thing.
No.
But they
You
lost
find
Gundogan
ways.
as well too, and you were mentioning Riyad Mahrez. Like it's not just. I mean Riyad Mahrez is one player, but KD and Gundogan in the middle there. To me, that's a big blow for City. Like that's.
But you
it's a
get
bit
like
concerning.
Kovacic, who I love.
Yeah,
he's
but
going to
he's
play a
not
bigger
KD.
role. No, he's not a like for like. You can put Foden at the 10. Lucas Paqueta is probably coming from West
Okay,
Ham.
can we talk about Lucas Paqueta because like this
sorry,
is.
who?
That's how you say it.
Oh, here
Lucas
we go.
Say it again.
Paqueta.
That's
Can you do the
ridiculous.
dance? Paqueta. Dun, 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 dun. No, he's an unbelievable player.
He's not worth what he's being bid for right now from.
Well,
this
that
is nuts
that
to
is,
me.
but that's the Premier League tax.
This is insane.
Caicedo just broke the record.
I can't also deal with that. But
Who is this guy? You know, he's good, but is he 110 plus?
How many games is Paqueta gonna play though? Like you have Holland, you have Julian Alvarez, you have Foden, you have Grealish. Like when is he gonna come on for any of those guys? Is what I want to know.
Well, no, I think he'd probably play in the 10.
You think he plays in the 10?
It could be, I think the midfield three can be Paqueta, Kovacic, and Rodri. Why not?
But they haven't been using Rodri. They've been using Stones and Rodri kind of falling back.
Yeah, they can always go back to Stones, right? That's the auxiliary role, I think they call it. But
Yeah. I mean, Pep kind of said that Foden's going to be like the short-term replacement and see how they. And I'm interested to see.
That's
like,
nice.
I'm interested to see how he fares as a starter. I mean, he came off the bench a lot last season. My question to you guys is though, like, what if De Bruyne just doesn't come back? Like this year, I mean,
Yeah.
he was hurt with last year with the same sort of hamstring, right, in the Champions
Yeah.
League final,
He was rushed back.
and
clearly.
rushed back, right? And we've seen a lot of people who get rushed back too early from injuries, and the soft tissue is very easily re-injured, especially at the age 32. I'd be a little concerned that this isn't an ongoing thing for him.
Yeah,
going
this would be
forward.
his third hamstring injury that's going to see him with some time off.
But it's a good point though that Sean makes though. I mean, the fact is he's 32, right? This guy is probably on the back end of his career anyway.
Yeah.
The Kevin De Bruyne that we know and love as the greatest player in the Premier League might be done anyway. He might not be that force of nature that we've seen. Maybe it's time to move on. Pep Guardiola is not done. He knows. He's thinking beyond Kevin De Bruyne. And now maybe that's been accelerated somewhat this season because of the injury. It may not be the worst thing long-term for City to find that replacement. Can Phil Foden fill that role? It could be, that's a silver lining. Obviously, you don't want to lose him.
No.
I get that. But Pep's looking beyond Kevin De Bruyne anyway. And maybe he's been forced now to find out, okay, Phil Foden, now the spotlight's on you, son. Let's find out what you're all about. Can you do this, or are we going back into the market and spending a crap load of money next year?
And he had a horrible season last year.
Yeah, the beautiful thing when you have the best midfielder in soccer, I mean, you don't have to focus on him because he's going to go out there and do his thing. So, like James is saying, you have to focus on the young guys. Foden's what, 23? Mm-hmm. I mean, let's see what he can do out there. Let's see what Kovacic can do, right? Kovacic, yeah. I'm interested to see what these guys can do going forward. I think, like you guys are saying, with the depth that Man City seems to have, I could still see them at the top of the table at the end of the season.
It must be nice being City, where you lose the best player in the world, and people are still saying, "Well, you can still win the Premier League." If this happens to Liverpool, if you lose, Mohamed Salah, the season could be close to over. I know there's a lot of goals there in terms of attack, but no one even close to Salah. You look at Manchester United, they lose Marcus Rashford, it's over. There's no goals coming from anywhere else. Chelsea, I have no idea. Maybe Reece James, if he goes down once again, their season could be over. Right? Arsenal, Odegaard, or Saka goes down, it's a wrap.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, there's very few teams that can deal with losing their best player and still being great.
Yeah.
How many? In any sport, right? You name it.
Yeah, true.
You name an NFL team loses their top quarterback. How many teams can actually continue? And
what was it?
Is the
49ers.
2008 was when Brady went down. Week 1, blew his ACL. I think they still finished like 11-5, but they didn't make the playoffs.
The Matt Castle season.
Yeah, they didn't make the playoffs. So there you go. That's huge. Lamar Jackson from last season.
Yeah, and I think it was last year, Jimmy G went down for the 49ers, and in comes Brock Purdy, and it was 6-0 or whatever in the regular season. Very few times, especially in the NFL, that you can replace guys like that and have a successful season.
Leafs lose Matt Murray, last year. Watch out.
Watch out. Well, if Matthews goes down, I think they might still. They probably still do the exact same thing.
They probably still make the playoffs, though, wouldn't they?
And lose in the first round.
Is that? I mean, quarterback's the most important position in sport, isn't it?
In sport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, even in baseball, you lose your ace. There's still 4 other guys who are probably 2 of them are probably pretty good.
That's fair.
And just the depth that you have in baseball too, like the farm systems are so big. Your AAA, your AA.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so hard to find that kind of talent at the quarterback position, especially when you're talking about the upper echelon of guys that, there's like tiers of guys in the NFL that, your Patrick Mahomes, your Tom Brady, who once was. Josh Allen last year dealt with an elbow and therefore the Bills had like a tough stretch and probably could have been better had he been healthy, but so I'd say that's the toughest position to replace.
Well, the Jags are good if Trevor Lawrence goes down. You got Nathan Rourke putting in performance of the ages in the preseason.
He looks good.
But soccer-wise, I mean, okay, you lose De Bruyne, a playmaker. In soccer, the most important position is not your playmaker; it's your goal scorer. Mm-hmm. Because goal scoring is the hardest thing to do in sports, as strikers will always tell you. But that's why they make the money. That's why they're worth so much money. Mm-hmm. Right? So you don't want to lose your playmaker, but if you're going to lose a striker, Haaland or De Bruyne.
Right.
Be honest, like who can they deal with losing more?
I think they can deal with losing Haaland.
No chance.
They won the Premier League without a striker. They know how to do it.
Different system of
but
play
they can go back to that system because it's the same players. And you still have Julian Alvarez. Okay, he's not going to score as many goals as Haaland.
Don't tell Sarah that.
Yeah, he's not going to score as many goals, but he can still score a hell of a lot of goals. Instead of, let's say you take Haaland out, you keep De Bruyne, that front 3 is still Jack Grealish, Alvarez, and Bernardo Silva. Like, come on.
Still very good.
Still very good.
But you lose Kevin De Bruyne, you slip Phil Foden in there. Still pretty good.
Yeah, still pretty good.
I guess we'll see. I guess only time will tell.
We're going to find out. We'll
Yeah.
revisit this in 4 months' time.
Yeah.
I will say, you mentioned that you don't want to lose a striker, but I think a defender, a center back, is almost equally as important. Remember when Van Dijk went down? He tore his knee when Pickford took him out, 2021, something like that, 2020, 2021.
Yeah,
it was a year after Liverpool won the Premier League.
Yeah, it was.
And that completely derailed their season.
Eder Militao's gone down for Real Madrid for up to 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, I don't care what you say, though. It's still striker.
No, I'm not.
more
I'm not.
important.
We're just talking about defenders. Just wanted to bring one up that went down over the weekend.
You're wrong, Sarah.
Jesus.
You're wrong,
full of
man.
it.
Let's make Sharms upset. Alisson is going to Saudi Arabia.
No, he's
And
not.
Mo Salah, apparently.
So there's a report out there from Foot Mercado. There's the
Oh,
the
Foot
image.
Mercado. Well, in that
Yes.
case,
Oh, it's legitimate.
the new Fabrizio Romano.
That guy's a handsome guy.
So the report is Alisson, Liverpool's #1 keeper.
He looks a little. Actually, now you mention it, there's some sugar Sean
In Alisson?
Alisson,
No,
yeah.
there isn't. Can you play the guitar?
No.
No, you can't do it then. Can you speak Brazilian?
No.
Brazilian. Portuguese. Can you speak Brazilian?
Can you stop Erling Haaland one-on-one?
Oh, that was bad. That was so
You
bad.
speak Brazil, my friend? So the report is that Al-Nassr have made some sort of bid, and Alisson is quote-unquote tempted to go.
Ooh.
James
Of
Sharman.
course he's tempted. I mean,
Talking about derailing a season. If he goes, Liverpool's season is over.
you know
Yeah.
what, can Saudi Arabia just go away?
No.
Really? I mean,
They're gonna be here for a
messing
while.
everything up right now. They've already taken Firmino, Fabinho, Jordan Henderson,
Gerrard.
Oh yeah. No, but the same. What is it? Footy Transfer News, whatever. Who tweeted that? They also released something like an hour ago saying Mo Salah is now apparently interested this summer in going to Al Hilal.
No, so apparently there's a
Or
list
next.
being made for next summer. who
So
they're
that's
approaching,
next.
right?
So even
They're
though it
gonna have
said
big summer
this
next
in
year.
big capital letters this summer, they were talking about next summer.
Well, listen, it's pretty Mercado. I don't know exactly who they are, to be honest with you.
This makes you nervous, though.
Yeah, of
He's
course it
getting all
does. Make you
riled
nervous.
up.
Money talks, right? But Alisson's been the best goalkeeper in English football for 5 years. And he's been key to the way that team plays football and key to Klopp's success as manager. Key. So Salah, by the way.
And he's got an important Premier League goal against West Brom. Can never take that away from
one
him.
of the greatest moments in the history of the world.
There you go.
And that's why some of these like other transfers, like you said, the Casado
Yeah.
signing was like one of the largest, right? And
Broke the British record, man.
so now like that's what's going to happen in the Premier League to keep up with the Saudi leagues, right? I mean, there's just money coming from it, just raises everything else. And I don't know why it's happening in the NBA right now, but it seems to be happening in the soccer world, and only more people are going to defect to the Saudi leagues. It's just going to keep happening, and it's sad.
Sharms, I have to ask you about the Caicedo move because Caicedo and Lavia both linked with Liverpool,
Yeah.
both decide to go to Chelsea. Is this not like a bad look for Liverpool when you have?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Like, I'm a bit concerned with that midfield because I know you guys revamped the midfield right now, but they don't have like a CDM. They don't have someone that's going to hold back.
No, they don't.
And
That's what they were going for.
I totally get it, but both players chose Chelsea, even though Chelsea we saw last season. What is happening?
No, we're having monitor issues.
We're back. We're back.
No,
We're
you're right though, Sarah.
kicking
It looks
laptops.
terrible. It seems very naive to me because Casado was only ever going to Chelsea.
Yeah.
That's where he wanted to go. So
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
they conversed or spoke to the agent of Casado, I don't know. But they did elevate the price for Chelsea
Mm-hmm.
in the end, which helped. Maybe they thought they could get Lavia, but they couldn't do that either. It doesn't look
Bad
good.
business.
They have to get a defensive midfielder
No, they need-
between now and the end of the window.
Yeah.
Because right now it's porous. It's a nice attacking three, but it's pretty porous at the
Yeah.
moment. So, yeah, it's been a weird window. They got McAllister done really early, as they generally do. They get the deals done early, but then since then it's been disappointing to say the very least.
I think Chelsea is more appealing to go to than Liverpool.
Why?
It's in London.
London's
and-
a big thing, yeah.
And if you're going back to what, 2009, 2010, that's the last time, or one of the last times Chelsea won the Premier League. Since that time, they won it 3 times. Liverpool won it once. Champions League, Chelsea have a Champions League in that time as well.
It's a story. Liverpool's far
It
more
is.
storied than Chelsea.
I think so.
But these are young players who
Yes.
don't know that from Liverpool. They know Chelsea under Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte and dominating, right? It's weird. These are 21
They got a recent Champions League win as well. I know Liverpool does, but
I've got underwear older than
Oh my
Casado. Right?
Yeah.
They don't know the brilliant Liverpool. They saw them for a couple of years.
they're calling him the man with 3 lungs because he can run so
Yeah,
much.
that's what I keep hearing too. That's actually a thing.
You remember when N'Golo Conte came into Leicester? No one knew who he was, and it was
Yeah.
like, this guy doesn't stop running. So they're trying to compare him to Conte.
Well, settle down because Conte is an absolute legend.
One of one. Also in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, perfect. Sad times.
Let's play the game. Who else is in Saudi Arabia? Neymar.
Yeah,
Neymar.
They're official now. Do you see
Yeah.
his deal?
No.
See what he's getting?
It's
No.
unbelievable.
Like, no.
It's crazy.
I don't know how I'll look back on Neymar's career.
I was thinking about that because I also saw someone tweet it out. I think it was ESPN. Neymar or Ronaldinho in their prime, and I said, why is this even a question? That's insane because Neymar never really got there. And in fact, when I was on the other show with Bobby Conway, we were talking about what Neymar has done, his accolades. I realized he never won a Copa America with Brazil because he was injured during that run.
He's been hurt a lot, hasn't he?
And they went to the final of the Copa America when Argentina won it in 2021. And now you kind of look at, okay, not only like what he hasn't won, but also his injuries, where he's played. And I think talent-wise, in this generation, he is maybe one of the most naturally gifted players. Put all the drama aside, I don't care. Give Neymar the ball. It's incredible. But the decisions that have been made with his career have, I think, unfortunately, like taken part of it away.
The PSG move didn't work out.
sure.
I mean, financially, obviously it did, but did it work out? He didn't win the Champions League. He was going to be the man, but then they had Mbappe, who rose and became the man there, and then they signed Messi, so that didn't really work for him. He should have stayed at Barcelona until they couldn't afford him, then gone to another club in a better league, because his legacy's been tainted, I think, for going to PSG.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. This deal, though, so $130 million per year, right? He's getting $70,000 per win, right, with this team. $430,000
Per
for
post?
every Instagram post that promotes
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia. 430K. He gets a private
It's-
plane, gets his house bought for him.
Can you just like
Yeah.
spam post like just a whole
I'm
bunch?
going to say,
You're at 93 posts today. You know what I mean? Just racking in the
cap there,
money.
you think,
No,
right?
yeah.
It's the incentives, right? Like the salary is great, but it's the incentives for these players.
It's so
they can make so
like,
much more
free
money.
Like an Instagram post, you're
I can't
basically
blame
getting
them, man.
$500,000.
And
That's nuts.
and the funny thing is like aren't the top four clubs owned by the same
Yeah.
PIF
Yeah.
group?
Yeah.
So like you're just. It doesn't matter if Neymar went. You know what I mean? I get it's incentive for the player, and that's what they're
Oh
doing.
yeah, but
they're
they
trying
don't care.
to
As
lure.
long as one of them.
That's what hilarious.
By the way,
though,
this
right?
Al Hilal, they have quite the team.
Yeah, read it.
Malcolm, Neymar.
Malcolm.
Hey, Malcolm's still a good player, at least in the Saudi league. Serge Milinkovic-Savic, Ruben Neves,
Who knows?
Kalidou Koulibaly. I mean, that's pretty good for a starting 11.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
They're getting better, aren't they?
They are getting
I was asked
better.
this question earlier today in a different show. What's the better league, MLS or the Saudi league at this point?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. I like to think it's MLS still. They've built their teams probably the right way, but they
How
keep
do you-
alluring all this close to world-class talent.
Well,
Some-
look at this
some
run
cases
of transfers
world-class.
right now for Saudi Arabia. Neymar, Frank Kessie, Sadio Mane, Fabinho, Alan Saint-Maximin, Riyad Mahrez, Jordan Henderson, Moussa Dembele, some guy named Jack Hendry, I don't know who that is, Alex Telles, under the radar, went to Al-Nassr, Seiko Fofana, Milinkovic-Savic, Firmino, Brozovic, who I forgot even went there. Oh, Edouard Mendy, Kalidou Koulibaly, Ruben Neves, and N'Golo Kante. Like, these
That's
are
just-
serious players.
That's the first window. Next summer, the same
Oh.
thing's going to happen.
Oh my God! What about?
Sorry, do they have a
January?
January window?
I was
Yeah.
about to say, isn't Saudi's window also open way longer? The summer transfer window.
I
is
believe
open
so.
at like
15 days longer, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Ronaldo
yeah.
joined in January, remember?
Huh?
Ronaldo joined in January.
Yeah, that's right.
You think you're safe? Nuh-uh.
So
You guys are-
I was telling Sharms,
Yeah.
I'm convinced that in January Newcastle are going to get some of these players on loan. Maybe not some, maybe like
That's
one or
so
two.
Fun. If Benzema
Imagine they get like a
just decided-
Benzema.
Benzema just comes back for like a cute little 6 months. Nice.
If they start loaning players back to like big Premier League clubs or La Liga, I'm just going to stop watching soccer.
No, you're not.
That's it. I'm
You're
done.
not. You're
I'm
not.
going to go
I
back to
know,
my
but I
private
would
Clip
life,
it,
make
clip
players.
it.
I am done.
No, you're not.
What,
I'm
what,
done.
what are you gonna watch instead?
I would rather
Snooker.
that though.
Yeah.
And the Leafs.
I would way rather them come
Oh,
back
brutal.
though. Would you not, James? Like have them come back to like actual football that you'd watch? I would rather that.
These
Come-
mercenary bastards.
yeah,
No.
well, I mean,
Stay
listen.
where they are.
Okay, so yeah, what's better, MLS or Saudi? Do you know what the thing is we're not watching either.
Well, speak for yourself.
I'm watching Inter Miami, and that's
I'm not
about
watching
it.
Saudi, but I'm
folks.
watching MLS.
Yeah?
Inter Miami.
How's that going?
Not great.
Messi's back in action tonight. We'll get to that. We should
Oh,
probably
nice.
touch on what Spain just did in the Women's World Cup. Sarah Perez stunned Sweden. Olga Carmona.
Oh, that
Maybe the
goal.
best name in the Women's
Bar
World
down?
Cup. Oh,
Get
beautiful
out of
goal.
here. But she had no one on her. And
90th
What was the
minute.
goalkeeper doing?
oh, don't care. I loved it. But that was a strike. That
So
was
they're going to
good.
play the Aussies or England in the final.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
what do you think of Spain's chances against either of those sides?
I feel like they went through that really tough loss against Japan 4-0. Like that's a wiping. But sometimes you
A
need
wiping.
that.
I haven't heard that one before.
I've got some
They
terrible
got
thoughts
wiped.
of yesterday's conversations. On the
Stop.
show.
We're not going there.
No,
We're not going
doing
there.
It. Not,
This
not
guy.
with me on the show. But they have to go through a little bit of adversity to then in order figure out Also, their lineup has moved around a lot. Alexia Putellas got her first start in that match against Sweden. Salma Parayuelo comes on way earlier and not in like the 70th. She's coming on in like the 55th. She, by the way, is just a legend. 19 years old and maybe the best player for Spain, with Putellas kind of, coming back from her ACL injury still. But they're looking good. And, they scored. They got scored on, and then they didn't let that, affect them. They keep going for it. That's really important. Coming back from, that draw or whatnot.
I'm just looking at some odds right now. So Spain obviously favored -125 because they're already in the finals. England +200, Australia +400. Will they be favored against both of those teams or just Australia?
Just Australia. I think England still, because England have been the favorites since the US have been knocked. I can't imagine it would change too much unless the game with Australia goes very bizarrely. I don't know, but I can't see that happening. No Lauren James though, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, second game of the suspension there.
Stamp.
Yeah, ruthless.
No, that was pretty ruthless, dude.
It was just silly. She's such a good player. She's just silly.
English. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, don't
get
you
him,
start.
Get him, boys.
Don't you start.
Oh, the
Ferrari,
English. We can do whatever we want.
Salivating over Spain.
We can do whatever we want. That's how you feel, being English, and you just step on players.
It's how the game should be played. A little bit of physicality.
I like a little
You
bit.
can't step on someone's back, though.
Why?
Because that's not part of football.
Why can't you step?
There's a way of doing it, though. You can get away with it if you pretend to step over and do like, oops, and you give her a little
Remember
bit.
when Neymar in the World Cup did his back, right?
Oh, that
the
was...
back one, and I crushed him on air saying that's ridiculous. Get up, you're a loser. You
And then he broke his back.
Vertebrae.
James Sharman, everyone. There you go. No, that was
physical football. That's what can I say. It wasn't great.
No, that one was
it
really
wasn't
not
great.
good.
But England, even without her, should be favoured.
Yeah.
It's often you see a home nation do really well in tournaments, but rarely win them, like a lower ranked.
Yeah, let's go Australia.
And they've been fantastic, Australia, to get this far. And Sam Kerr, do you think she starts?
I mean, at this point, like, what do you have left to lose? Like, if
But
this
it's
is their...
worked so far without her starting, though, right? They
Yeah,
got this
that's
far.
the thing. But I don't know, maybe, like, with Spain, they've been adjusting their lineup, and it's only been getting better and better. So, I mean, I'm not the coach, but if they think that she can... I mean, either way, it's good, right? You have one of the best players, or you bring her on as a super sub. But this one's going to be tough. I don't know who's going to go through. Like, England should be the favorites, and I think Spain will see them in the final. But then again, like, Aussie home fans, the stadium going for them.
It's going to be rocking. There'll be a lot of English fans there as well.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a great atmosphere. For
Yeah.
women's soccer, it's a great moment, I think. One of the great moments will be 6 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
Australia +400 if you believe in the home side.
Plus 400?
In
To
90,
win it
in
all.
90 or
No, win it all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to win it
And
all.
either way, you're having someone that's never won the World Cup before.
Yeah, it's good for the sport.
That's the best. That's the best. Like, I
And
think...
it's not the States.
Yeah, but do you think people are going to be upset if they have Spain and England in the finals because everyone's always all like the Europeans? No, I've seen people on Twitter are few about it. They're going for all the
Americans probably.
No, they're not actually.
No, they
but
hate
a lot of
themselves.
them are. Anyways, but the thing is, you look at the nations and you're like, you're Sweden, England, Spain, now I guess Australia, but still a lot of them are European nations, but they're football nations.
Traditional nations.
Well, that's the thing is, they're football nations for both the men and women's side. Like,
Yes, so get used to it. I mean, just because they haven't cared in the past, right, these nations, now they care, now they're investing in women's soccer. It's
Isn't
only
that what's
natural they're
important?
Yeah, 100%. So Canada,
Yeah.
for example, I really think, and I hate to say it, they've missed their opportunity, right? That
Yeah.
came a few years ago now. We in Canada have just let it go. We haven't invested properly. We know the state of the game behind the scenes in Canada. And now all these other nations have caught up. The world's so much bigger now than it ever has been for women's soccer. It's going to be very difficult for Canada to maintain their level of consistency.
It'll be even more difficult if they lose their manager, John Herdman, on the men's side, who's now linked to Toronto FC.
Johnny
So there's
segue.
reports from Matthew Shinetti, Joshua Cloak, anyone who's covering this team is reporting this essentially. TFC had interviewed John Herdman, the manager, obviously, of the Canadian men's national team, for their head coaching position. They've also interviewed Bobby Smyrniotis
Crushed it.
Nice.
of the Hamilton Forge. She's also been interviewed. This is pretty big news. We put a poll out today on the Homestand Twitter. Which team is tougher to manage, Toronto FC or Canada? 63% saying Toronto FC.
Really?
36.4%
because of the
saying
drama,
Canada.
maybe.
Yeah, well, I put a poll out too saying
Oh, you had your own personal poll.
who rates higher on the shit show-ometer. And Canada Soccer is just pipping them right now, 53.2% to TFC's 48.8%.
Okay, so let's go
Nice.
around the room here. Tougher team to manage, James Sharman. TFC or Canada?
you know there's problems in both teams. Definitely at this point, though, it's TFC. TFC's toxic. It's a mess on many levels, right? A couple of Italian guys making a crap load of money who don't want to be there. That's not great. They've already got one guy fired. Terry Dunfield, the poor guy, great football guy, good dude, just cannon fodder. Not his fault. The young players aren't quite good enough, and they're being developed in this toxic environment. Disaster. At least Canada has some good quality players who have shown that they can play the game. They've got a world-class talent. TFC hasn't. So, yeah, by far, Canada's easier to coach than TFC.
Sean?
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I think right now the situation behind the scenes for Canada is worse than it is for TFC. It's what's on the pitch for TFC, which is hard to manage. Like Bernadeschi and Insigne, I think, like James was saying, there's a lot of drama there. So I think the situation with the bankruptcy and all the crap that's going on there, I think is worse for, and that's why Herdman is going to get involved, I think, with TFC, because it's his job to fix what's on the field, and I think he'll be able to do that.
Pararia.
Yeah, I'm actually going to stick with these guys. I know you were saying like TFC, it's going to be easier in one season to change it, but with Canada Soccer, yeah, you're able to pick from so much talent, and there is an abundance of talent right now with Canada Soccer. Yeah, behind the scenes might be bad, but I mean, forget the two Italians too. You have a team that's letting go of Richie Larea, your best player. He's from Canada. Like, what are you guys doing? This team is so rotten to the core that I don't think it's going to be in one season. We just need to make a few transfers and get a new coach. This is going to take like 3 or 4 seasons to properly rebuild.
I'll say this, if it's John Herdman, and that's still very much just speculation, although there's more and more noise about John Herdman leaving Canada, right? Same with New Zealand, right? A few months ago now. But for John Herdman, he took over Canada, and there were cliques in that room. It was an unhealthy locker room as well, and he changed that. So he's got that ability to really manage personalities and egos really well. He's proven that with the women's team as well. So maybe he's what you need in TFC. That being, he's never coached club football before at this level ever. That's a very different job to a national team when you got a few camps each year. The day-to-day, he's meticulous. He's so focused on the day-to-day running of Canada. I think he would fit well into the club side of things, but it's still a very different role. He's yet to prove himself in that position. So it'd be a slight gamble, but it'd be exciting. And I tell you what, for Canada Soccer, it'd be another kick in the gut. That's for sure.
I think for Herdman, the question should probably be which headache is worth it, right? It's both. They're both a disaster. And if I'm Herdman, I think it's Toronto FC, right? You don't have to worry about being supported. You don't have to go door to door asking for money. You're not in that position anymore.
You're just coaching.
You're just coaching.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And if someone can galvanize a team and an organization, he's proved that he can. He's done it, 2 times, 3 times over back to New Zealand, right?
I do wonder though how the big egos in that room would accept John Herdman.
Well, that's what I mean. Look what happened to Bob Bradley. He got completely villainized at TFC, and they could do the same thing to him. And with Canada Soccer, you have a World Cup you're hosting around the corner. At least I'll have them in another World Cup. Yeah, but at the same time,
there's an international window coming up, and Canada doesn't have a match to play.
Longer holidays.
What are we talking about here?
That's why I think he wants out.
Why would you want to stay with that? We have a World Cup coming up, and we can't even manage to put together a friendly.
Go to TFC. Get out of Canada, John Herdman. If I'm you, no, seriously, he's so talented. We've known that from what he's done with the women's team and the men's team. Why would you go to TFC? He's so much better than that. He doesn't need to prove himself at a team.
I think he does, though, sir. I think he does.
Not at TFC. I think he can go to another MLS team that has a little bit more of a healthy foundation right now.
But this is the current opening, right? This is what's there.
I'd go to the UK. I'd go to New Zealand. No way.
The first thing you do is get rid of those Bernadeschi and Insigne, right? And those contracts.
Well, you're going to have to flush the roster.
Yeah, you have to, because to get money as well, you need to rebuild without those 2 players, right? So it's a huge job, and assuming they can get rid of those contracts, does Insigne want to leave given the contract he's on? I mean, I'm
Saudi
sure he wants out, but
how has Saudi not come in for him?
It's been linked.
Haven't they both been linked to Saudi? I'm pretty sure they have. And then Bernadeschi came out, said I'm like loyal to TFC or whatnot. But that's exactly where they could go, and they could pay their contract off, no problem. With spending money, that's nothing.
Yeah. If I'm Herdman, if they want you, I would take the job in a heartbeat.
Would it be a pay raise for Herdman to join TFC?
I mean, think so.
I don't know. He gets paid pretty well by national team standards for Canada. It's hard to say. It's a good question, that actually.
Let's say the number is the same.
But the thing is, I mean, the lure, we get into the lure of the World Cup, and it is a lure. It's a home World Cup. It's amazing. And what he's given to this program, men and women, that'd be a great way for him to say farewell, home World Cup. But it might just be 2 games. They might crash out. So,
oh my God, it's groups of 3. I forgot.
Right?
Oh, they're doing.
I mean, you're not guaranteed listen, touch wood, hopefully it's a deep run. But maybe it's not. So you hang on for this great occasion, and then you play 2, maybe 3 games.
Well, as of right now,
Is that worth it?
it's unlikely that they can get out of the group. I mean, if you're not getting, if
Well,
you're
it's
not
4
getting some
teams
game
though,
time,
right?
It is true, but
And
if you're not
gonna be
getting game
seeded
time,
as a home nation, probably.
they're not getting game time.
No, I know. They've got Japan coming up. Don't forget Japan. That's
Yeah,
good. But
Japan's
you're
gonna
right.
wipe
It's
the
embarrassing.
floor with that.
Well, we're watching the Prem this weekend, right?
Yeah.
And Luca Kolyosho playing for Burnley, right? Really good young talent. Looked fantastic. Was called up by John Herdman earlier this year for Canada. Didn't get capped. He can play for Italy as well. Was playing for the U21s for Italy over the summer. And now you're going to go to Luca Kolyosho and say, listen, when we have games, we really want to cap you, but we haven't got a game. I mean, how's that going to turn? That will not only turn a player like Kolyosho off, it's got to turn off John Herdman,
Yeah.
right? At what point you say, enough's enough? I've been here since 2011. It's 12 years he's committed to this program. And he must look at it in the mirror and say, look where we're at now. It's never been bad. We've never been worse off the pitch. On the pitch, different story entirely. So if you get an opportunity to go and coach an MLS team with some deep pockets like a TFC and turn that around, really tempting.
Well, there could be some serious reinforcements coming in for Toronto FC. Sebastian Giovinco is back at training with
Davidson
Toronto
reports
FC,
that
ladies and
today,
gentlemen.
Literally going
He's not training with the
backwards.
team. He's just training. This happens like every year.
He seems that way.
He's always
Is he right
wanted-
now just hoping, hey, listen, this team is horrible. This has got to be my time to come
He's
back.
wanted to come back for so long. He has a home in Toronto. He lives here.
Yeah.
I get that, but this in terms of TFC, this isn't a smart move. This is an old football player. You can't base the whole team around him. He isn't in his prime anymore. I don't care. You have to move forward.
Well, listen, you want to make the fan base happy, just sign him to a...
That's what the signing's about. If they do sign him, it's to a piece of
short-term
fan base.
contract?
I would honestly, I would love to see Giovinco's self-confidence in that room with Insigne and Bernardeschi, and just see what happens.
He
This could
becomes
be fun
another
to
poisoned
watch.
Italian.
It could be fun to watch from the outside, though, right? From a really nasty.
What if
cynical
it actually
standpoint.
works, though?
I don't think it
What
will.
I mean, the 36-year-old comes back,
Comes back,
and just
finds his
scores
form.
20 goals.
Yeah.
You need a
Leads
whole.
into the
They need to
playoffs.
rebuild that
Yeah.
whole team.
That could happen. What if Messi comes to MLS for Inter Miami?
How
Wait.
dare you compare
Anything can happen.
Giovinco to Leo Messi? Oh my God.
Oh, boy.
That was
They're the
bad,
same height,
Jay.
aren't
You struck a nerve.
That's actually insane. That's
I don't think I compared them.
insane.
Did I compare them?
No, I didn't hear
I don't
you
think I
say
compared
that.
them.
No.
You just said if Messi goes to Inter Miami, saying how he fixed that.
I was saying how preposterous that whole scenario is in my
Oh.
head. Messi coming in and
Oh,
being
I don't think it's
successful.
as-
No, it sounded like you said Gio's as good as Messi.
I
Okay,
just don't
that's
know
what I
if
heard.
he can.
At their
Don't you
best,
think
they're
they
very
need to
similar.
rebuild that team from the roots? They can't just bring in Seba and hope that that's gonna work.
No.
They have to clean.
I don't think
out.
he's just there. Maybe he's trying. He's probably like, I need some more to train. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And they're probably like,
they might be
this
doing a
dude
favour to
again?
club legend. Get
this
fit,
guy
why not?
again?
Yeah.
That's like the
26.
neighbor who always comes over and asks for some milk. It's like, you're here again, bro? Can you just buy your own
Have you
milk?
got one of those neighbours?
No. I used to.
Oh,
back
you're
when-
one of
that
those
neighbour.
neighbours.
No, I'm the guy who's like, yeah, whatever you need, man. I'll help you out, you know? You need to
Why are
shovel.
you like that around here?
What's that mean, man?
I'm just kidding.
Don't throw shade on my name.
You just bought us coffee before the show.
Thank
he
you.
did offer.
Which
He did
I do quite often. Just want to say that. Okay, speaking of Lionel Messi, he's in action tonight against the Philadelphia Union, semifinal of the League's Cup. Inter Miami might actually pull this thing off. We said, how are these guys all of a sudden one of the favorites to win this thing? And now we know because Messi is unbelievable. Once again, minus 150 to score anytime. Is this Inter Miami's to win? Like, really?
Yeah.
Right? Let's be honest.
Of course.
Okay. Sorry?
Well, we should give some credit to Philadelphia. They are
good team.
pretty good team. They're playing at Subaru Park. It's going to be way tougher than I think Dallas. They got a big fan base. It's going to be tougher, but I mean, I still can't not see Inter Miami winning this game with Messi, with Jordi Alba, with Busquets, with Martinez, with Taylor. Like, they're all becoming this. They're
Shout out to
becoming
Robert
a team.
Taylor. Yeah, Robert Taylor's getting a lot of
but
love
that's
these
why
days.
they're bringing out the best out of all these guys, and now they're starting these games, and it's just working so well. It's why would you not think that they would win this thing?
Well, I
they
mean,
got 2 games
there's
left.
22 points separating these two in the MLS standings, right? I think it is. And I think, well, no, Philadelphia beat them 4-1 last time, but that was the old Inter Miami. It is amazing what's happening there. Not just that Messi's playing well, but how he's elevated everyone around him. It's incredible. And if they do win a trophy, I mean, that is one of the great success stories I think I've ever seen in sport. A team that they weren't just bad, right? They were putrid. Mm-hmm. Right? They were putrid before Messi arrived. The worst in the league by a mile. When Phil Neville was coaching that team,
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Right now,
It's now with Canada, right?
Yeah, exactly. We should mention Tata Martino as well. No, mention
Yeah.
him. Big part of this whole Messi signing. So
It's messy.
It's great. When have you seen in other sports a turnaround this dramatic mid-season?
St. Louis Blues.
Oh, Bennington. Yeah, when Bennington got Rick Tocchet. No, who was?
It was Bennington was in that. Yeah, they won a lot of games. I don't even know what really triggered the comeback. It just they were
went on
like
a hell of a
almost like
tear.
dead last, close to dead last.
Was it
And
Tocchet?
who
Did it-
coached?
Yeah,
I think so.
mid-season.
Didn't the Phillies go on a hell of a tear too? Right? They just squeezed into the
Yeah.
playoffs. They didn't win it, but
Sorry, one thing, because you just brought up the point differential. So I wanted to go and see some of the teams Inter Miami played. So they played Orlando City, right? Big Florida rivals. 19 points difference between those two in MLS, and Miami put them in the pocket. 3-1 win. That was one of their easiest wins.
I'm surprised you don't have an Inter Miami shirt yet. Did you order one?
No, but people keep asking me. I might.
You know,
I mean, I would
it's
never.
coming.
It's coming, yeah.
100%.
Would you rock it? You don't rock jerseys, but
Yeah,
Would
you're
I
not a Jersey
into
guy.
Miami? Because why would I?
to have Messi
Give
on
me
it?
one reason.
Messi.
Yeah, but I don't own a Messi Barcelona shirt or a PSG shirt.
That's true.
Yeah,
Or an
I couldn't do a
Argentina shirt.
PSG shirt because that's too close to Barcelona. But this is like, also, if this is maybe going to be his last team, would it be something that like I'd keep for like my kids one day? Because all my jerseys, that's like there's certain things like I have the Infinite Iniesta jersey with Barcelona because that was his retirement shirt. So it could be the same.
Yeah.
I don't
Think
know.
of the children. It's for your kids.
I think of the children. It's all for the kids. Yeah.
That's why I kept my Moose in the Belly Tottenham shirt to show my kids. He never won anything at
That's child
Spurs,
abuse, so that's what that
but
is.
I mean, the way you guys disrespect him is unbelievable. This is a whole nother conversation we need to have. Okay, I think that's it. But
So
I
how
did.
many goals for Messi tonight? Anyone?
I've got money on 2 or more.
Ooh,
Plus three.
that's a big
Oh, you
shot.
bet
Boy,
it?
This might be their hardest game.
Did you bet it?
I'm gonna say none.
Woo!
I'm
I was
say-
just about to say that.
Yeah, because this is gonna be. But this is also these are the times where Messi will show up. Like he'll get everyone, pack you in the bag, put the knapsack on, and just carry the team.
Like
but
some
it's
of these.
true.
So if you think he's gonna score a hat trick, plus 1,300 to score or give an assist, minus 400.
So
Why no goals, Sean? Give me some reason for that.
Again, I think this is just the toughest competition that this Inter Miami team has played. I don't know a lot about the Philadelphia Union team. I know did they win last season MLS?
No, they lost to LAFC.
final?
They're a very good
They
team.
lost
Yeah.
to Gareth Bale.
And they're
LAFC or
that
LA
was it.
Galaxy?
LAFC.
That was a great final.
Yeah.
by the
And
way.
they're third in the Eastern Conference this year in MLS. And yeah, I mean, again, it's a whole new team. There's like 4 new players on the team that Philadelphia Union hasn't seen, hasn't faced as a team yet. So I don't know. Just the odds. I think they're plus 120 to win in 90 minutes. Not great value. Minus 140 to score. Not great value. But I mean, he keeps doing it. I'm just going to try to fade it.
I know you can't bet against him. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You just can't do it.
I'll be a fool tomorrow. I'll come on here and be like, I was wrong. But we'll see. See what happens.
Kiss of death, Sean.
Oh no, don't do it. I'm just trying to look at the times he scored his
Sarah's
goal.
happy.
Get away.
36th minute, 78th minute, 99. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's
Why-
all
why-
over. It's all
Yeah.
over. Didn't he score against? Was it Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
Or no? Was it the Charlotte? No, it was Dallas.
And he
where
has a couple
scored
free
in like
kick
the first like 7
goals
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, nuts.
If you want him to score inside the first 15 minutes, it's like plus 300. To score with his right foot, plus 650.
Well, they're just trying to find ways.
You got to try and find value if you want to bet him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you want to lay the juice, but I don't recommend laying the juice. So, but anyway, we got Premier League coming back this weekend, or is it Friday? Do we have a Friday Premier League?
There's a
match?
Friday game,
We've got
yeah.
a Friday Premier League match. So
And a
listen,
Monday.
if you want to make a little bit of do re mi, you should probably check out 442picks.ca for your chance to win. How much? $250,000. All you got to do is Sign up, predict the upcoming match day outcomes. It's completely free to play. You can play against all of us here. Weekly and monthly prizes all season long, and a grand prize, as I mentioned, of $250,000.
I'm interested to see the leaderboard because I made a team, so you guys are.
Did you make your picks?
Every Monday we'll
I've done mine.
leaderboard on the show.
Yeah, I've done mine a little too early, but it locks like just before.
Yeah, you
kickoff,
have until like the night before. Like
I know I
the
did it too
morning.
early.
Also, just that Friday game, just because I know you're all really excited for Nottingham Forest and Sheffield.
Hey, Forest are a fun team to watch this year.
No, Forest are fun, but I'm not sure.
I think
about
But you're right, it's not exactly a
You know what?
marquee matchup.
Steve Cooper must. He
I've
might
already
be one
locked
of the
in
first
Forest.
to go.
not
It might
Ange
be.
Postecoglou.
No. Don't talk about big. Let's just leave me alone, okay?
I don't think
Just leave me alone.
Ange is not going to make it to the end of the season as Spurs manager.
Why not?
Because Spurs are not going to do
Expectations are so low, though.
well. Yeah, maybe.
Exactly. There is no expectations. The first time in a long time, I have zero
So you're
expectations.
going to
for
enjoy the
Spurs.
season no matter what.
I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. for a
14,
second.
Yeah.
10.
James Madison. Ooh, he looks good.
Yeah.
Basuma. He looks great.
Assume it looked great.
Mickey Van de Ven. Oh, Mickey, you so fine. Oh.
You guys
Watch
signing?
out for Tottenham. I'm just saying. Right, Sean?
Oh, hey.
All right. Well, that's the end of the show on our new beautiful set here. Hopefully, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. That's actually from White Hart Lane.
There you go.
This is true. All right.
I thought it was from Anfield.
For James Sharman, John McCormick, Sarah Ferrari, I'm Al Vertanen. Thanks. We'll be back tomorrow right here on the Homestand YouTube channel.